It's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion. This is for Saturday, the 30th of August. I'm Michael Groff. Dry conditions and slightly warmer temperatures to kick off this Labor Day holiday weekend. Daytime highs right around or maybe a couple of degrees above seasonal averages today. A couple of degrees warmer tomorrow. But monsoon moisture isn't very far away, and we'll start to see it come back into our part of the state, perhaps as early as Labor Day, with some small chances of showers and thunderstorms. But rain chances increasing rather notably as we head through this upcoming week, and by late in the week and next weekend, the weather pattern could turn decidedly more interesting, perhaps rather active, with scattered to numerous showers and thunderstorms, maybe more widespread precipitation in fact, and the threat of locally heavy rain. Now, all of this is potential, and we all know that's the dirtiest word in meteorology. So we'll try to figure out all of these forecast uncertainties and so much more as we dive on in just a moment. Hey everyone, it's Michael Groff here to talk to you about your roof. With all the extreme weather we have in Arizona, you need a name you can trust, and that's why you should call Blackstone Roofing Group for all of your roofing needs. Call for your free inspection today. Big or small, they do it all. Tile, shingle, or flat roofing, they can help, offering free inspections and more. Roofing made easy. Call 602-536-9363 or visit blackstoneroofinggroup.com to schedule your free inspection today. And if you tell them Michael Groff sent you, they'll take $500 off the price of your roof replacement. Again, that's 602-536-9363 or blackstoneroofinggroup.com. All right, let's dive into it here. Take a look at that almanac from yesterday. 102 degrees the afternoon high after a morning low of 81. That's a little bit below those seasonal averages. Yeah, 104 degrees now the average high, 83 the morning low. And we did pick up 1/100th of an inch of surprise rainfall early morning yesterday, right around 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, as a few showers and storms did rumble their way through the Central and East Valley. Of course, we are still 2 3/4 of an inch behind on rainfall, but maybe, just maybe, the monsoon is going to do a bit of a never, better late than never kind of thing, right? So we will see. All right, looking outside right now here just before 7 a.m., we've got a few clouds out there this morning. We're sitting at 84 degrees at Sky Harbor, dew points at 55, humidity 37%, the winds are calm, and the barometer is steady. Satellite picture out here across the southwest. You can kind of see what's been going on over the last 16 to 18 hours or so as we put this in motion. And the monsoon moisture, as mentioned, really not that far off. It's across parts of extreme southeast Arizona and New Mexico. The reason that we're seeing this bit of a break in activity is because high pressure is located over the Big Bend of Texas. We've got troughing to the west of us. The flow aloft is now more out of the southwest. And generally speaking, that's a dry flow of air for us and will remain the case for the next couple of days. Now, of course, as this ridge starts to rebuild back to the southwestern United States and takes a position more to the north of us, we'll see the flow aloft gradually switch back out of the southeast, a more traditional monsoon setup, and that should give us a return to some storm chances. The watch warning map is pretty quiet across the country. Some dense fog advisories up north over parts of Minnesota and Wisconsin, sections of Mississippi. We've got a flood watch. That's where that deeper monsoon moisture is over eastern New Mexico. And for us, we've got an air quality alert issued by the Arizona Department of Environmental Quality, and that's for Maricopa County, and that is through tomorrow evening at 9 p.m. The convective outlook for today, that marginal risk, the low-end risk, level 1 out of 5 for parts of New Mexico and the Texas and Oklahoma panhandles. Southeast Arizona in the green. A few thunderstorms are possible down there today, certainly nothing widespread. So if you are out and about, or you're camping, or whatever it is you're doing in that part of the state today, it's not going to be a washout, but a few storms will be possible later today and tonight. The tropics and the Atlantic Basin. Look, this is the 30th of August, and I don't want to belabor this point, but it has been extremely quiet and will remain so at least in the short term. Now, over the next 7 days, the Hurricane Center, the National Hurricane Center, has defined an area of potential development with a wave coming off the African coast, giving that about a 30% probability to see a tropical storm form out there. And we'll see. In the Pacific, though, a little bit more notable here. We've got a couple of waves. One is well to the southwest of the Baja, and that does have a good chance to develop. And the system behind it off the Mexican coast has also a very good chance to develop, over 70% chance of developing. And it's where this goes that is of more interest to us, because it sure looks like it's going to take more of a northwesterly track toward just south of the Baja. And maybe this could get caught up in a trough that develops sometime late this coming week and brought up in our direction. Now, is that much of a possibility right now? Well, all solutions are on the table, but this is why we always keep an eye on the tropics and the East Pacific, because you just never know. All right, here's the precipitation outlook. This is valid through next Saturday morning from the WPC. Rain amounts in Phoenix at the moment, somewhere between about 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch. We could see as much as an inch over the higher terrain of northern and eastern Arizona. But whenever we show you this graphic, yes, the disclaimer, your amount will vary, because naturally, thunderstorms during the monsoon season, they are not uniform. They don't follow colors on a map, and one neighborhood can get nothing. Just a couple of miles over, you could get an inch of rain, and that's just how it goes. This represents an average of what you'll see across the region. So let's get into the details of this forecast, see what the future may hold by checking out those models. Here we go. This is the GFS. It's the 06Z run. This is valid at 2 o'clock this afternoon. The upper look at 500 millibars, about 18,000 feet off the ground. And you talk about being stuck in a pattern. For the last week or so, we've had this trough over the east that's brought down some very nice, cool fall air to much of the Great Lakes, the Northeast, and even down toward the Gulf Coast. Temperatures had been below average, but the trough is beginning to scoot eastward, and gradually we'll see a return towards somewhat more typical temperatures for the end of August and early September over at least a good chunk of the country. Now, out here in the west, we have troughing to the west. Our subtropical monsoonal ridge is off to the south and east of us, and that's why we're under a drier southwesterly flow. So what it means down at the surface for the rest of the day today: sunny and a little bit warmer. High temperatures about 102 to 106. Now, that's not ridiculous for this time of year. The average high is 104 degrees, so we'll be a couple of degrees either side of that. Widely scattered showers and thunderstorms will be possible for northern and eastern Arizona. So if you're headed up toward Flagstaff or Payson or Show Low, Holbrook, maybe down to the south and east toward Wilcox and Tucson and Douglas, Bisbee, Sierra Vista, Safford, those areas could pick up a couple of storms. Rain chances in the 20 to 30% bracket in those areas. But for us here in the south central and southwest deserts, it's going to be quiet. No real meaningful chance of precipitation around here for today. For tonight, clear sky, overnight lows, upper 70s to mid 80s. Tomorrow, it's more of the same. Sunny sky, a little warmer, high temperatures anywhere from about 104 to 108. And the ridge is gradually starting to head back our way. That's why those temperatures warm up. Still some widely scattered showers and thunderstorms possible northern and eastern Arizona. Most likely area you'll see any storms is in the southeastern portion of the state. Rain chances there generally in the 30 to 40% bracket. But as we get to Labor Day, the weather pattern is very, very slowly starting to change. A little bit more monsoon moisture is being drawn in as that ridge continues to build to the north and west. The flow aloft is switching from southwesterly to more southerly and gradually southeasterly. So somewhat more moisture is coming in, so we'll call for at least a slight chance of late afternoon and evening showers and thunderstorms here on Labor Day. Again, if you have any plans throughout the day, shouldn't have an issue, other than the fact that, it's going to be toasty with highs anywhere from about 104 to 109 here in the lower deserts. But other than that, storms shouldn't be an issue, at least until the late afternoon or evening hours, and even then, they'll be just very widely scattered. And of course, for us, we could see some gusty winds and blowing dust with any storm. Maybe somebody picks up some rain, but at this point, it's going to take a while to get the atmosphere kind of juiced up again. Let's keep it going. This is Tuesday. And again, a little bit more moisture keeps coming in, and those storm chances will slowly increase. Now, again, the GFS not showing a lot from a synoptic standpoint on Tuesday, but we'll just call for widely scattered afternoon and evening showers and thunderstorms, kind of a low-grade monsoon forecast. High temperatures still around 104 to 108. Wednesday, temps nudge down a couple of degrees. The ridge is to the north of us. The flow aloft is more out of the east and southeast at this time. Widely scattered afternoon and evening storms here in the desert. Scattered storms over the mountains, especially of northern and eastern Arizona. So we're starting to see that ramping up of moisture. Here we go to Thursday, and monsoon moisture continues to increase under deep southeasterly flow. High temperatures anywhere from about, I'd say 99 to 103. As moisture levels increase, rain chances increase, more clouds around, that's going to lower those daytime highs, and the ridge is also going to be weakening ever so slightly. But where the forecast is turning more interesting is out here later on Thursday, Friday, and beyond. As remember that tropical system I was showing you down there, or that potential tropical cyclone down there, that wave that's off the Mexican coast? Well, whatever happens with that system, it looks like the GFS picks up on it, moves it up the west coast of Mexico toward the Baja. And as we have a trough that sits off to the west of us and a ridge that's nudging off to the east, the flow is more southerly. And some of that moisture, if not the entire system, may be brought in our general direction. Kind of similar to what we saw earlier in the week with Juliet, except the entire circulation may actually wind up coming up toward us. We'll have to see. This is Friday, scattered to numerous showers and thunderstorms. It's way too early to call, by the way. But models generally agree that at least an increase in moisture is likely during the latter half of this upcoming week for a much better chance at storms around here. And subsequently, temperatures will be headed down. It's very possible we don't even make 100 degrees on Friday. Highs mid to upper 90s with scattered to numerous showers and thunderstorms. Now, at this point, yes, we're keeping the forecast very conservative. Rain chances in about the 30 to 40% range. We're not going to go hog wild yet because, yeah, this is 6-7 days out. But kind of an interesting scenario nonetheless, and there is some model agreement on this. Let's keep it going. This is a week from today, Saturday, the 6th of September. And again, we've got this low, whatever it is, a remnant low. Maybe it becomes just, it never really develops. It's just more of an inverted trough, a disturbance, whatever it is, that slug of moisture moving up the west coast of Mexico toward us. And that could create a pretty interesting day with numerous showers and thunderstorms. But it's just one idea on the table. I don't want to get anybody too excited about it right now. This is just what the GFS says is a possibility, and some of the ensemble members are picking up on this as well. If this verifies, temperatures, hey, we could stay maybe in the low to mid 90s, maybe cooler than that if we get enough shower and storm activity around. But one thing's for sure, that in a scenario like this, temperatures would be below average. How it plays out, though, yeah, again, model spread is pretty huge out here. All right, this is Sunday, the 7th of September. And again, we have kind of a short wave that's coming through now to push our ridge off to the east. That short wave will ultimately dry us out, but in the short term, it could act on that deeper tropical moisture around for a continuation of scattered to numerous showers and thunderstorms. And again, temperatures, yeah, without the presence of a ridge, they'd be below average. So you can see how it plays out synoptically. The drier air is coming in, but the eastern, I'd say 2/3 of the state would still be in the soup for chances of storms. Going out 10 days. This is Monday, the 8th of September. And now we've got a rather notable trough here coming down into the northern plains and the Great Lakes and pushing some cooler air southward through the plain states. Our ridge would try to sort of come back here, a shortwave ridge over the southwest, but in a position that would be more of a west-northwesterly flow for us, so that would be dry, and temperatures would warm back up a little bit towards seasonal averages, but with upper heights only expected to be around 588 decameters, it's not going to be very hot, just fairly typical early September weather with highs in the upper 90s to about 103 degrees. All right, looking at rainfall for Phoenix out through the 12th of September. This is off of the GFS ensemble. The mean, about 2/3 of an inch. European AI ensemble is up toward an inch. You got some individual members that are pushing up toward 2 and 3 inches on this. So, again, there's obviously some ensemble members that are buying into this solution of deeper tropical moisture or perhaps a weakening tropical storm or remnant low from the west coast of Mexico to move up our way. It's way too early. I know I say that a lot, but we don't want to hype anything. We don't do hype on this channel. We just talk weather. We just do model discussion here and talk about the possibilities that are out there. And that is a realistic possibility. It is something that climatologically speaking has happened many, many, many times. And especially at this time of the year. When I first started this channel almost 9 years ago, we were talking about a tropical low moving up the west coast and potentially affecting us. So yeah, a lot can happen this time of year with that sort of a setup, especially in a very active East Pacific tropical season that we've had. All right, looking at temperatures off the national blend of models. Okay, yes, of course, it's going to be pretty toasty this weekend with highs a little bit above average. But look at what happens this coming week and by next weekend. Highs getting below the century mark. And that is, again, the national blend of models is certainly buying into increasing moisture and decreasing upper heights from less influence from our big subtropical ridge. So that is a good thing. I don't want to call it a fall preview per se, but we are moving into meteorological fall starting on Monday. So, hey, why not? And you know what else you don't see on here is 110 degree temperatures. And does that mean they're gone? Does that mean we're done? Well, let's pump the brakes on that. We could still potentially, there's an outside chance we could hit 110 tomorrow or even Monday. But after that, I just don't see it happening anytime soon. Are we done for the year? Fingers crossed, knocking on wood, whatever, holding a seance, burning some candles, some incense in a circle, mystical chants, whatever you got to do to keep that away. I'm all for it. All right, that's it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. My next video is due back here tomorrow morning. Should you happen to enjoy these videos, be sure to subscribe, like, share, click that notification bell, leave those comments, questions, and suggestions. If you really enjoy what we do here and you want to support the channel, the best way to do that, click that thanks icon below the video here on YouTube. It's called the Super Thanks. Make that contribution to us that way or via PayPal. groffshow@gmail.com is that PayPal address. It's groffshow@gmail.com for PayPal. Our Venmo is also linked up down below. So again, all the ways to help us out linked below. All right, the executive producer of the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion is my OAO, the sweetest of all time, the Asian sensation and proprietor of sweetchildaz.com.org and the Facebook page of the same name, Sweet Child Arizona, talking about my Michelle. Check her out. Blogs, videos, everything Michelle related, Adriana related, and more is all found down in the description. So check it out, as is our streaming station, available 24/7, 365. It's called KMGX. We play a ton of music and have a lot of fun with that. Give that a look and a listen as well. Check out Dan over at the Courtroom Files YouTube channel, The Courtroom Files, or courtroomfiles.com. And tonight, Dan's got game night over there. I believe he's playing Candleman tonight. He's been kind of rotating between that and the Lego Star Wars game. So you want to see Dan just chilling out, playing some games as opposed to doing his court stuff, something different, something fun. Do check that out tonight, 8 p.m. East, 5 p.m. Pacific on the Courtroom Files YouTube channel. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. All of your continued support, it is amazing. It is so greatly appreciated. You guys make the dream work. That's what happens. What is it? That teamwork makes the dream work. And you guys are a part of this team, and you're all MVPs as far as I'm concerned. All right. Thank you so very much. Please, though, it's Labor Day weekend. It's amateur hour. It's crazy time. Be safe out there. All right. Stay cool. Stay hydrated. Have yourselves a beautiful rest of your Saturday.